We need to talk about the confirmation and or deconfirmation. In this latest TOKON trailer, there's a big topic of conversation happening. There's a lot of said copium that's being thrown around here right now. Everyone's coping hard because the drama is surrounding the addition of a big-ass X-Men stage. And there's been a lot of people mentioning which characters are involved here. You can actually toss in Rogue because she's right there. So it's like Rogue, Gambit, Iceman, Archangel, Beast, Professor X, Colossus. And if you move forward in the trailer like a little bit more, there's Sentinels in the background. Nightcrawler shows up. Psylocke wearing pants is definitely crazy to me. Here's what bums me out. On some of these designs, I feel like the designs are a little basic. Like, for example, Nightcrawler is like a little simple by design. I don't know if it means that there's a good chance of that making it into the game because he looks so normal. Gambit feels awkwardly like kind of normal from the back shot. And I think that's all they show here. It is, yeah. It's the same thing with like Beast and Iceman and stuff like that. Yeah, the fact that Archangel is also like the really old school Archangel. Professor X looks about the same as you would expect him to do. Here's the question. Does this immediately deconfirm all of these characters' inclusions in the game? Does this mean that, oh, we're cooked, bros, on like a majority of X-Men? I think the number one thing we gotta start thinking about is not just who is here, who is not here. That's important. Number two, it doesn't mean that they can't be here. I know people are going to say that's a mad copium. I still think that there's clearly a route for Gambit to show up in the future. If you see his design over here, he looks pretty straightforward, but at the same point, it's like, I don't know. To me, like Gambit's design seems relatively like honorable compared to some of the others, which look a little mixture of the old and the new. So I really dig the stage. I dig the inclusion of like references and characters, but at the same point, I'm kind of like, they could show up. How has this affected the past of fighting games, right? There absolutely has been games that have characters relegated to background characters for quite a while, and then when that character like shows up down the line, they just remove them from the background. It doesn't mean that that can't happen, but do I see this game getting either Archangel, Beast, Professor X, Colossus? I mean, I really wish Colossus was kind of in this game, but I don't see it happening. Even Iceman, probably not. Nightcrawler, I think this one hurts me the most because this Nightcrawler design ain't it. It does not match like the intensity of the designs of these characters. It feels like they landed in the 90s with these characters in the background, and they don't feel like they come from the same world that these dudes do. You know what I mean? Again, it's not a confirmation or deconfirmation, but there is definitely history of these characters or characters in backgrounds showing up in some way. They definitely could be DLC. Let's go back to what we were saying before. Let's start thinking about what was announced and who isn't here. So straight up, the chance of Cyclops and Magneto showing up just jumped a lot. And I think they're going to prioritize a X-Men villain. People are saying, but what about Wolverine? Yeah, dude, I don't even think about Wolverine being a possibility. He's in the game, okay? If Wolverine is not in the starting 16, starting 20, whatever this character is getting at the beginning, there has been a severe dysfunction and breakdown during the development of this game if Wolverine isn't in the starting roster. Whatever is the process that goes into making Marvel TOKON, if he ain't in it, dude, that's crazy. So I'm just talking about Wolverine like he's already in the game and we've seen him, you know? Even though we haven't, it's an expectation that we all have and he should be there. So outside of Wolverine, I can almost expect like one or two more X-Men characters, because who else is an X-Men that's in the game right now? Is it just Storm? I would be very surprised if they do a Jean Grey to Phoenix thing after what happened to Marvel 3, but I think Magneto became a high likelihood. Jubilee, we're looking good. Weird characters, other bad guys, Juggernaut, okay? Well, I'm just gonna throw it out there, maybe Apocalypse. Omega Red, brother! Cable? See, I think Cable's a possibility, but I don't know if we're gonna be getting Cable and Cyclops. Sabretooth, I feel the same way about Sabretooth, where I don't know if he's gonna possibly make it. All this is really doing is making me realize like how desperate we are. I really wanted to see like Nightcrawler and Jubilee, and it seems like Nightcrawler is not gonna make it anytime soon, but I personally hope that this game really fits a character like Jubilee, so she can finally be a playable character in a fighting game. I think that would be badass. This is a funny trailer because this stage is amazing. I think the representation of X-Men and this world is really freaking cool from a nostalgic perspective and also just from a excitement perspective, but it also has the caveat of like being scary and wondering like how how much of this is going to be this, how much of this is going to be that, you know? And the fact that TOKON has not been able to produce any new character imagery since the last, like, almost 6 months, people are starting to get antsy. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know if I'm with you, because I'm at a point where, after playing the game, I feel like there's a lot that needs to be worked on. There's a lot of things that time is fine. Like, you guys can... If this was announced too early, then that's okay. But I'm very curious in that next beta what changes with gameplay stuff, especially in terms of like tag situations, prioritization and tagging, as well as auto combo stuff, which were some of the most frustrating elements that the game had to offer. And at that point, like, once they get that stuff figured out, I want to start seeing characters that I would really enjoy seeing, or just seeing combinations of characters that we don't see combinations of all the time. They are being coy. The biggest reveal we had from the Evo trailer was a new stage, and the biggest reveal I think we had from... Actually, I don't know if it was a new stage. No, the stage was TGS. That's September. And the biggest reveal here is like an XMEN stage, which is a confirmation / deconfirmation, depending on how you're feeling. I just want to fill a team of 4 with 4 characters I enjoy playing, because that was the one rough part of Beta 1, is that I don't particularly love playing all of these characters, and the only one I really liked playing was Doom, even though he was harder to play. It is what it is. I hope a lot of what Beta 2 offers fixes that, because there is going to be just more chances and permutations of character combinations. But dude, in that first beta, like, people were getting bored of watching TOKON. It was crazy. And this is the game that like everybody's looking forward to. A lot of people were just not watching anymore, even from some of the best players and stuff like that in that first beta. So we need to see different stuff. And I think that's where this whole thing is coming from, of people feeling a little uneasy about this situation. We need to see different situations. We need to see different moments, different combinations, like all that kind of stuff, you know? There's a lot of like big question marks for the future. If this stage did one thing, which is like hopefully alleviate some of those question marks in this trailer, my dude, all it did was add more. We were at 4 question marks, and this shit just added 2 more question marks. And now we're just sitting here wondering and waiting on every single front, from gameplay to everything else, man. I think we really just need a trailer that has like 4 characters. I think people are like really needing that very soon, you know? Anyway, I'm a little more excited. It's just, I'm feeling it, man.